Christmas Eve will find me where
Wow, this will mellow you out.
Nice and mellow. Yeah.
Yo, Bing. Give it up for Bing.
Can
you see that? Can you see the excitement in my face? Woo! Whew. Okay. I did the best I could. That was pretty long for me as far as Christmas songs go.
But that's a classic, Trap. I'm just gonna tell you, it's a
It's
classic.
classic.
Good
It
job,
is.
Wendy.
I'll give it to you. Hey, everyone. Happy Wednesday, Women Crush Wednesday, Wonder Woman Wednesday. We have a very special guest, Wendy Dailey. Thank you so much for joining us on day 3 of 12 Days of Recruiting. Wendy, please introduce yourself. We're very excited to get started.
I'm super excited to be here. So I'm Wendy Dailey. I am an experienced talent acquisition / recruiter from way back, and also co-host of the HR Social Hour Half Hour podcast, Twitter chats, and HR Wonder Woman podcast, which
Yeah.
we've done a lot with that. So
Yes.
that's how I got to meet Kirsten.
Yes. And you're very festive today in your holiday sweater.
I see it.
Thank you.
I had
Thank
to
you
go.
for that.
I had to.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
So, like we mentioned, we're just going to run through some highlights of 2020, recruiting in general, and then we're going to get to the fun stuff at the end. Richard's favorite part of the show, talking about our holiday traditions, songs, and food. I have my wine again today. This is the Double Dog Dare You Merlot.
Ooh.
So,
Nice.
and I'm a reindeer. So I think, as we've said over the past couple days, my heart expanding for Christmas a little bit more. Is that what's happening? And I'm wrapped in a bow.
You are.
I'm wrapped in a
Wrapped
bow.
up.
Day 3. Look out, man.
Wrapped up.
Wait till
So,
day 12.
hmm?
Just wait until day 12.
Yeah, that might be something special.
Virtual happy hour.
Love it.
Virtual happy hours. So Wendy, tell us, how'd you even decide to get into recruiting?
I didn't.
This is everyone's answer.
I'm in that generation where, HR was not like an option. Recruitment was not like that on the list at college or wanted to go. My original plan was actually law school. And then I got out of school. And, I got out of college and I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done with school for a while. So I actually, I worked in a law firm for a while as like an aide and secretary, and did that for a little bit and decided I didn't want to go to law school. Definitely didn't want to be in law. And so then I just started doing odd jobs. I started working retail, started working for the airlines, actually.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then like customer service, baggage claim. And my boss's wife actually worked in recruitment for baggage services. And his, so he was like, oh, my wife has this opening. Wendy, I think you'd be good at it. So I think you should go interview. I'm like, okay, doing what? What is this exactly? Interviewed for it, got the job, and now here I am, 20 plus years later, still recruiting people. But switched to more in healthcare, but mostly in healthcare. I did airlines just for a few years, and then found myself doing healthcare, and I enjoy it. I like being on the paper side of healthcare.
Understood. Now, that's a great segue into our next question, because I know you and I and a few other folks, one of which is going to be on next week, Josh Rock, have had a conversation about recruiting through unprecedented, so to speak, times.
Yeah.
And you have an added roadblock or obstacle to overcome in terms of recruiting during this time. During another, there was a shutdown, then there was some, ramping up, and you being in healthcare. Tell us, how did you like work through? How did you work through that? And you know, and I do think that this time was different than others. So can you share a little bit with us, especially for some other recruiters who may be in healthcare who don't have the experience of having to have pivoted before?
Been through this, and actually the last recession I was working in healthcare as well. So,
Okay.
you know, it's, this is definitely different because for my organization, we never considered layoffs. We never considered shutting down. We had some areas that did, you know, elective surgeries, elective procedures were stopped for a while so that we could prep and get ready for possible COVID patients. And one of the things that we did was we started reskilling people. So if you worked in a doctor's office, but you weren't trained to be a medical assistant or a nurse, we were able to give you just enough training that you could help with some of that. So you could help room patients in areas that were still open. You could help, you know, do everything but give a shot. We wouldn't make anyone do that. But, you know, we were able to upskill people quickly. And so we were able to pivot very quickly, and we did not have to do any layoffs. We didn't do any furloughs. We had I should say that I think there were a few, but they were in smaller communities where we just slowed down. We did shut down some jobs, I shouldn't say jobs. We shut down postings of positions that hadn't been filled yet that were in non-clinical positions. But we ramped up pretty quickly this summer, and we are full speed ahead again. I don't know what magic power or magic powder we might have had.
Captain America.
Captain America.
That's it.
Yeah. We were able to avoid a lot of that. We were able to stay fairly profitable as a healthcare organization so that we could continue to offer a regular employee experience to our staff and expand and do more. And we're hiring healthcare. We're not just healthcare workers. We're hiring recruiters. We're hiring HR professionals.
Yes.
Because we have just continued to grow. And so I think part of that was, you know, we had people in leadership that said, you know, we're not just going to react to this. We're going to find a way to get through it. We're going to try to find a way to keep people employed and keep our organization moving. And we did it. It's a very cool thing that we're still out there offering, you know, to pay people's tuition. We're able to still do that because it is still a need. We still need healthcare workers, especially respiratory therapy. So if anyone's interested in respiratory therapy, go. People are paying a lot of money for respiratory therapy right now.
All right, you guys hear that? Reach out to Wendy.
Reach out.
And
let me know.
She doesn't have anything for you, I know she can point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
To some other
Might have to come to Minnesota or South Dakota, but hey.
Well, those aren't necessarily terrible places.
Depending on you, for the most part, it's not all that bad. But, you know, and that's the other thing too, is we do still have very low unemployment in the Dakotas. And we're almost to pre-pandemic levels, which is a little, it's actually scary because, you know, how many people just dropped out? That's what worries me, is that are there people that just gave up and said, I'm not going to look anymore?
I think you will see that, but I don't know. How much of that do you think is the actual holiday slowdown? Which, you know, I get excited around the holidays because I want folks to be like, that's when I like cheering you on, like, go get a job now, because everybody else is kind of being quiet. So
taking it easy. They think of this period. I don't know who started. But
I think we did, because we want to take a break. So what do you think, Rich? Do you think recruiters started that?
No, this is my time to recruit.
Oh, I know it is. I know it's your time because you're out here doing everything. So,
well, you know, a little bit too, because, you know, if you're recruiting in colleges and stuff, this is when you're not going to be out at the colleges because nobody's there. So if you're doing that new recruit, new graduate work, this is going to be slow because nobody's at school.
So Wendy, tell me a little bit like what, like dealing with the people up there in the Dakotas, what's their take on like the future and stuff like that? I mean, you have to be energetic to every conversation and pull them through it, or we got a lot of hope here with people up that way?
That's a great question.
That's a really good question. There's a lot of mixture here. You know, I do live in a place where a lot of people think it's all a hoax. It's not real. And
would that be far? Would that be Fargo?
Easy now.
But there is a bit of you know, when I talk with other recruiters in our organization and around that, yeah, you do have to be a little bit. I feel like there's a little bit more cheer going on, trying to get people hopeful that things are turning around and that there's you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train. I think I used that exact phrase earlier today with someone, is that, you know, we have to keep positive that things are going to improve. You know, there's going to be a vaccine, and you know, if our kids can wear masks to school, come on, put on a mask. It's not that bad. Just power through. And you know, if more of us take those necessary precautions, we'll be out of it a lot faster.
Exactly. And I think we have to coach people more too now. We're not just recruiting and job agents. We are coaching them on life skills too. I mean, we get them on the phone. Sure. You don't know what's going through their life, and they're just like, oh, another recruiter, can't get a job. And we got to pick them up just like that. Within 30 seconds, we got to lift them up.
We got to help them out. And, you know, and I think, you know, Kirsten, that's some of the stuff that we talked about too, when we had our video chat, that, you know, this is a different time, and we have to remember that the people that are out looking probably don't do it that often. Probably they don't. You know, we're in it day in, day out, and it's get monotonous, but we have to help them through our processes, because each and every organization has a different process. They all want something different. And, you know, expecting someone who doesn't know how to write a resume. Well, I do this and I suck at writing my own resume, but we expect you to update it for every single job posting out there and write a new cover letter. But some people like them, some people don't. So you have to be able to predict what they're going to want. And then you have to navigate through all these different ATSs that act just a little bit differently. And we don't give you any feedback on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, because you might sue us. So we don't have any feedback.
Right.
Wow.
Use our water to sue us. So we're just going to say, hey, we went in another direction.
Right.
You know, we could do so much more as corporate recruiters, as external recruiters, as getting out of that game and just helping us navigate through that without jumping through all those hoops. And it's not just, you know, and then too, we say, because the advice out there too is, you know, apply for anything and everything that you might be interested in. And then we've got recruiters on the other side that are like, okay, well, now I have 100 candidates for one position.
Exactly.
I got to find a way to get through all of these resumes. So I'm going to have to be picky. And, oh, I'm sorry, you spelled one word wrong, so you're out. It's a terrible, terrible game that we've created. And we've created.
We did. And I think you're right on that, because recruiters now, if you're in corporate America, you have to watch what you say. Me and Trap, since we have our own companies, I tell them the truth right off the bat. You didn't get the job. Let's move on. I'm your coach still.
No, I watch what I say.
Well, to a point. You know what I mean?
You have a little more freedom to give that honest feedback. Not a lot, but
well, you're going to report with them, I believe, you know, and they're like your best friend. You know what I mean? That's what I say. You have to break them down where they can trust you and you trust
I'm going to tell everyone that Wendy said I have more power, and then it will be true.
It's all
it will be true.
You know what? Real quick, I want to say something about like resumes. Have you seen the video resumes up there in the Dakotas at all? I mean, it's I'm really taking it, embracing that across the country now with video resumes.
I like the idea. We don't see them much here. I haven't anyway. I haven't seen those a lot. I like the idea of different mediums that people can use. And that's one of the things I love about social media is there's so many different ways to get content now. It's why podcasts. That's why I like all these different options. And that's one of the things we're doing at my work. We're starting an internal podcast because, the majority of our staff don't sit at a desk all day, but they still, they still need this information. And so we can get it in a format that's mobile ready, and still working on the mobile ready piece. But if we can get content to them that they can, take a walk and listen to, or, hey, maybe their time today is restocking shelves or, refilling stuff. They could listen to a podcast from the CEO or from somebody else while they're doing something else, and still get that work done. So we need to be getting more communication in different styles out to staff, because they all consume it in different ways.
You're right.
We all learn in different ways. So we need to get it out in a multitude. And HR, you got to stop thinking, well, I sent an email.
Nope. Capture the audience, entertain them.
I love that.
Yeah.
It sounds like your company's doing a lot. And there's one other thing before we move into the fun part, because I know we're running short on time. The funner part, I should say, because this has all been very fun for me. But I want you to talk about one of the innovative ways your company is, quote unquote, testing people. Yeah, this blew me away.
Gosh, that's a good question. That's one of the things that we're kind of looking in. How can we get better assessments when people apply? That. But I think one of the coolest things we're doing, we offer a loan forgiveness program for students for a wide variety of clinical roles, and a few non-clinical are starting to come in there. So we're vetting you from while you're in a program, while you're learning, and we're reaching out to you while you're in there, so that we're getting to know you, you're getting to know us. And so we're having that give and take before months or years before you even step foot to become our employee. So we're making an investment in that. So I think that shows, it shows that we care about our community, because, not everyone comes to work for us, but you're going to pay us back. But you're going to go out and work for somebody.
Right.
It's a loan forgiveness. It's not a gift. But I think that's one of those ways we're getting better at vetting employees, because we're spending more time with them before they fill out that application. And so that's something, is how can we do that with non-students? How can we get out in front of people sooner and help them learn about us, learn about all the jobs we have, so that when they come to us to choose a job, they are very well educated about who we are, what we do, and the different areas, so that they're not filling out 50 applications for us. They're filling out 5 for these 5 departments that they're really super interested in. So then they're more focused, and then we can be more focused, because we're not looking at you for 50 different spots. We're looking at you for 5.
I love it. All right, Rich, I'm going to turn it over to you with
my holiday cheer.
Holiday cheer. More than you can handle.
First question is, favorite holiday movie?
Oh, easy. Christmas Vacation.
Clark Griswold. Love it.
It is if you ask me what my favorite movie is, I'm going to say it's Christmas Vacation. It's that one movie that I can watch over and over, never get tired of. And the last time, now we're to the point where even the kids are quoting it back while we're doing it. I actually thought I misquoted the whole "Why is the carpet wet?" I don't know, Margot. I thought I got it wrong because I did it so perfectly. I didn't hear the character say it.
Wow.
That's awesome. So, wow. Okay. Favorite holiday or favorite Christmas toy growing up?
Oh, golly. So way back when, so I had a doll. It was called My Friend Mandy doll.
Oh, wow.
And this is 70s. I'm totally dating myself. She had blonde hair, and she came with this cute little outfit, and you could go buy new outfits for her, but she was like a toddler baby doll, not a baby doll, but a toddler doll. She was one of my favorites. And like for years, part of my gift was always new clothes for her. And I still have her, and my youngest daughter has played with her. So, my Mandy doll, she doesn't look good. She would not go for any money on eBay, but she is well loved.
Nice.
That's what matters.
That's what matters. Yep.
Favorite holiday cookie.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Another easy one. I'll have to share the recipe, but Alton Brown has a sugar cookie, butter cookie recipe, rollout cookie. It's got, like a cup of butter and all this stuff. And so we roll it out every year. And my mother-in-law she'd have two round cookie. She'd have a cookie cutter, a round one. She'd do two of those. And then she'd cut one of them up to be a mustache and a hat. And so we make our own Santa cookies that way. They're a little bit of work, but now I have to do it.
Please give us the recipe.
I will.
Because Rich needs a new sugar cookie recipe. I don't know if you saw yesterday's replay or saw our live, but he was eating a sugar cookie that looked like a communion sacrament. But we're not going to go back.
Yeah, I'll share this one.
He's drinking wine. What a show.
If you like chewy ones, now if you like crispy ones, I don't do crispy sugar cookies. I like the chewy ones.
Yeah.
Me too. Perfect.
What about your favorite holiday drink?
Wine.
There it is.
Once again, get you some of this Double Dog Dare. It's
Double Dog Dare. I'm gonna look for that
because Merlot. It's a Merlot.
Well, and it's the time of year where I start breaking out the reds.
Yes, reds are great.
Yeah. Okay, a couple more. Favorite holiday cartoon.
Oh, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I feel attacked.
Frosty, come on, Frosty wins it all.
I feel attacked.
Well, I say How the Grinch How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Charlie Brown, they're really close, but I think the Grinch is just up there, just a little bit higher.
Okay, you ready for this one? We are 0 for 2 on this. Fruitcake, yay or nay?
No.
It's another one.
Nasty. Oh.
We have yet to meet a person.
Every guest on here, we have to say that. And it's like, what is up with fruitcake?
No, yuck.
What is fruitcake? Like, what is it?
It's a dense cake with candied fruit in it. And it's very dense. And I've never had one that's moist. It's always dry and nasty.
Well, yesterday I sent it to
not expire. How did they get it to?
How did they get it? 1910.
I don't know.
Ooh.
That's not food. That's not appropriate. All right. So thank you so much for being on the other side of the questions today. We enjoyed having you. We'd love to have you back in 21 for one of the many shows that Rich is producing.
That would be a blast.
He's gonna be have his own studio in no time. I know he is.
Love it.
Tomorrow, join us back tomorrow, guys. At 4:00.
4:00 again.
We're gonna have Jamie Gaiman, someone I've known for quite some time. Mm-hmm. We went to Richmond together. He's a recruiter, came out of one of the well-known staffing agencies, but we're just going to let him tell his story. So join us back tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you again, Wendy.
Thank you again, Wendy. You're part of my network and my family now, like I always say. Trap hates that, but
I don't hate it. I just don't want you stealing from me.
Kirsten, you're first for me. So
thank you, doll. And thank you, Wendy, for being our first lady guest, because I have been very feeling it's been a lot of gentlemen on the show over the past couple of weeks. And I think I did that kind of purposely because I was very heavy, ladies in the beginning.
Sure.
So now I'm overdoing it, but I'm glad to have you here.
Balance. We deal with that all the time.
It's trying to balance. We got to bring some balance to it.
We've got a lot of guys. We need to find some women. Oh, wait a minute. Now we've had a lot of women. We need to find some guys.
All the time.
Go on.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
Happy holidays, everybody. Be safe out there.